So in the last class we have studied regarding PHP. So we'll see the syllabus first. So we have completed a quick tour of PHP that is completed yesterday. So today's class we will see program control and the functions. So these two chapters will complete this particular module. Okay. So we'll go for that. Now here the basic thing of here programming control is what are the conditional statements we are going to use. It is same as your C programming. So if else here then we have some looping statements and all. Okay, same thing here also. But what change you can find here? So let us see this. So program control, in order to execute any of the program with some conditions, we are making use of this program control statements that you know. So in any of the programming language, if we have condition true or false, depending on that, we are proceeding for the further execution. Yes. So here we have switch statement, while statement, and do while statement, which are iterative, and if else, and you have if else ladder. It is one if another if. That is what nested if I can call. So these are the program control statements we are going to see here. Let us see if else statements. Now obviously here we are checking some condition, and then and that is logical and is there, means if both conditions are true, then we are making use of this if condition, otherwise else part will be executed. Okay, for example, already we have seen an example, hour of the day. Okay, for example treat, it is a 9:30. So 9:30 is greater than 6, condition is true, and 9:30 is less than 12, so this condition also true. So it's a good morning, so I am just printing the greeting as good morning. Otherwise if the time is say 12:30, so 12:30 is greater than 6, condition is true, but 12:30 is less than 12, this condition is false, so this condition will not be executed, so you are executing else part. If 12:30 is equal to 12, that is also not correct. So if 12, then otherwise it is greeting good afternoon or good evening, so this will be printed depending on the time. Okay, so this is how the simple if statement working in the PHP. Now what is the condition you have to give here? The condition can be any constant, any expression, or any variable. Now in this case we have dollar hour of the day, which is nothing but a variable. Okay, so it is a variable, and it is checking the condition with the constants. Okay, so this is what the normal in C programming we are going to take now. Temp is largest is equal is greater than A, large is less than B, like this. Same thing here also, we are making use of the variables which starts with the dollar, and we are checking the condition there. So this is very simple example of the if statement, if else statement. Next one, double equal to. So again here you have code PHP tag open if dollar user status is equal to logged in. Okay, so it will take you to the login page, otherwise it will keep you to the logout page, and it will need to re-login once again. Okay, so that way you can perform here. So this is a PHP code you can work with. Okay, if login is successful, go to one page. If login is unsuccessful, go to the previous page. That is once again login page. So that is done here by using dollar user status. Now this dollar user status again is a variable, and its value is logged in, which is stored in the database already. If this value and this both are matching, then you are going for the account.php account page, and then one if not, if otherwise you just be there and give their links. Say A is what, it's a hyperlink, account and logout, so two options you are going to give here if you logged in correctly. If not, again you need to give the login page or register page. Okay, so this is one of the example of the if and else statements. Now one more switch statement, which is a uh, multiple selection, but multiple choices with one selection. Okay, in the if statement, one case, one selection, and here multiple choices and one selection, one way. So we call it as a one way selection. So in the switch, we will be having many cases, no, case 1, case 2, case 3. Okay, so among that, user is using only one case at a time. So this is compiled using switch, then $art type. So which type of art you are going to do? PT or SC, okay, or anything that is art, painting, or you can call say something that has different names. So so his other arts or painting action. So okay. So he has given some art types. This is also same as your C programming switch statement followed by one condition, and this condition wherever it matches into the case that will be executed. If no cases are matched, then this one will be executed. Okay, so this is what equivalent program is also written here. So this you can write in the PHP program. Same way, no change there. So to print this on the monitor, you are using echo painting, which is maximum PT dollar code is equal to 0. Nothing is there means switch 0. No case is matching, so other will be printed here. Okay, so this is what the execution of the switch statement. Now coming to the next one, while and do while loop. Same as your C programming. So we call it as a pre-test and post-test. So we'll get some differences, write the differences between while and do while. So while is what? Pre-test, no? So first of all you are checking the condition, then the body of the while loop will be executed. Whereas do while, it is a post-test. First the body of the do statement will be executed, then while condition will be checked. So first is what? We call it as a pre-test for the while and post-test for the do while loop. Okay, and then while loop will not end with the semicolon, whereas do while ends with the semicolon. Second difference. Okay, and then while keyword is used there in the while. Here do while keyword will be used. Okay, so any other differences we can get? So obviously there are three differences. So just you can see here. So dollar count is equal to 0 while 0 is less than 10. Condition is to echo count. There is 10 will be printed, 0 will be printed. Then 0 is incremented by 1. Now it becomes 1. So 1 is less than 10. So 0 to 9 it will execute. Okay, but what about do? Count equal to 0. So 0 will be printed, 0 is incremented by 1. Then while 0 is less than 10, so this will be executed. But in this case, only the output will be 0 to 9, whereas in case of do while, 0 to 10 will be the output. Okay, so this is what the difference between your do while and do while. Okay, this is also simple, same as your C programming. Just check how the variables are used. Dollar, by using dollar special symbol, you are going to use the variables. Next one, for loop. Again, for is also same as your C programming, and you need not to specify any of the data types over here. Okay, like int, char, float, you need not to use anything. Sorry. Okay, now going for the for loop, we need not to specify any of the data types like C programming. That is, for first of all you have to initialize I, then count. That is int I, int count is equal to 0, something like this. Okay, that is initialization is optional, but I at least it has to be initialized. That is declared. It has to be declared. Whereas in case of Java, you have to specify. Say int I is equal to that is for int I is equal to 0 like this. But here that is not the case. Directly use the dollar count, or if you use dollar I is equal to 0, then I is less than 10 I plus plus. Then echo the value of count. So this you can use. So you need not to specify any of the data types. That is the beauty of the PHP. Okay, so this is only about the for loop. Is it okay? Yes, it's very similar and simple as your C programming, but only as a syllabus point we are going to cover this. Then alternate syntax for control structure. Now let us see what he has given an extra theme, just like your .NET. That is for each is also given here. For each, then end if, end while, end for each. So for each statement is used for in order to access all the elements from the array, that too very fast. So we are using this for each. I think we have completed the C sharp, and only as a syllabus part has mentioned for each is there. So whatever wherever we are using if and all the statements, that is say if, while, do, while, no, for each and switch statement. Similarly, for them, there is a end. There is end if, end while, end for each, end switch. So such statements are also supported in the PHP. Okay, while writing the classes and objects in PHP. So that is the concept here. Later, you have some include files. So obviously, you can include some files in your PHP programs. For example, if there are many database connections available, and every time you need to write that query, select star from, and then the database name, database username, database password. Okay. So in such cases, you have to include the files in your PHP code. So just create one file once and use it in any other files. For example, I can show you here C1 and www. So we will see here CMS. Sorry, yeah, it should be there. DB file should be there. See here includes. So in the config, so in the configuration files, I have database names and all. Okay, define database name, localhost, in the username is root, password is nothing, database name is VSM CMS. Okay, so this is what one file config.php is there, and you see I will open one more file and even header also. Okay, what header I want, so everything will be there. Okay, now next time what I will do, I will just include these files in my PHP program. For example, say index.php. Okay, see here, you can see include, what I had to include, includes config.php. So I am going to give the complete path, includes, within the include folder, config.php. This file I am going to include in my program. So I need not to write that complete program, that query, the database name, database username, database password. Everything I will not write that. Only I will mention the table name. That's it. That is select star from users. Users is a table name where user email is equal to that username whatever it has entered, and password is the password whatever he has entered. Is it okay? Then I am going to fetch that particular query. Are you getting it? So this is what including. So include, write one program once and include them in many other this one, many other programs. This is one example. So you can go with another. So you can go with registration. So there also you can get include config.php. So everywhere, wherever you want to establish the connection between database, we have to include that. So every time you need to write some 20 to 25 lines of code for every page. In order to avoid that, you are using this include. So this is the concept of the include. So how include files will work? Create one page and use that page into the PHP. That is here footer.inc.php. So this page we have created, and then this can be included in the index, product, and about. So this is what the example of the includes. This is some extra features added in the PHP. So there are again two types of include. One is by using include keyword and one more is required. Okay, and even there also, if it is required only once, use it include once and required once. Okay, so require means it can be used many multiple times, but required once means or include once means only once that particular file will be fetched. Every time it will not be fetched. That is the difference between include and include once and required once. So you can conclude include and required both are same, and include once and required once are same. So this is about including the files into the PHP file. Is it okay, guys? So this is about the include. One more, scope within include files. So whatever you include in one of the file, and that file can be, for example, if you are including the config.php file into the index.php, and the index.php file is again included in some other files, so that time the scope of the config file will be limited to the only that include file, only for that index file, not for the further. It is just like parents can give their property to their only son. Sorry, grandfather can give his property to only his son, not to his grandson. Is it okay? So this is what the scope within the include files. Okay. So this is all about the control statements. Then next one. Last one, this is functions. So PHP also supports many functions. Why it is supporting functions means it uses the classes and objects. Okay, and ready-made classes are available here. For example, we have the date function, time function. Okay, then timestamp is there. These all are belongs to the date class. Okay, so similarly you have many functions means what? Again, so we can get the definition of the encapsulation. What is that? Combining the data members and member functions into a single unit. So similarly, classes will be there. So PHP provides a lot of a variety of classes and functions for here. Now there are some inbuilt functions. What are those? Let us see. So the function syntax. This is also similar to your JavaScript. Okay, so you have to use the keyword function and write the function name. So before that, again there is a user defined function and built-in function, that is system defined function. So user can write his own function, and there can be a inbuilt function like date function, time function, and so on. Okay. So we have here an example of the function get nice time. So time function is already present there. So I'm writing my own function get nice time and return the date function. So I'm creating the my function using the system defined function HIS. Now what is this HIS? Hours, minutes, and seconds, and this will be in capital, small. In this format only we have to write. So this date will be sorry, no, not this time will be returned. That is, so now the time is 9:53 and say 50 seconds. Okay, so this will be returned by this get nice time function. Okay, so this is what you have created the function using the system defined function. So this is a simple example which gives you the user defined function and the system defined function. What are the built-in function? Okay. Now one more function output for footer menu. What menu you want to create? Now echo is what? It is only just to print it on the web page. What is that? Do you see here how the structure he has made? Single quotes, echo with single quotes. In the last class we have seen how many types of outputs we can perform. Single quotes is allowed, double quotes is allowed. Yes, whenever there are some values for the tags or properties, we must use a single quotes. So here echo within single quotes div id is equal to footer. Now what is this footer? It is a value. So this value should be put into the double quotes. And here is a double quote. That's why we have used a single quotes. Is it okay, guys? So this is what the example. And see, from each and every program you can learn something. Okay, so this is one more example of the user-defined functions. Then calling function. Now, how to call the one particular function? Now, there is no restriction that your data type must be of that same type. If we compare the signature of the function in the C program, the return type must be same, parameters should be same, like that. But here that is not the case. you can use any of the variable. Now what is dollar output? It is a normal variable, so you just call this variable and assign the value of this get nice time. So what is the value assigned for, of this get nice time? That was 9:50, 9:53:50. That is morning time. 9 is hours, 55 minutes and 50 seconds. So that value will be assigned to the dollar output, and then echo. Either you can print here get nice time, otherwise in double quotes you can write dollar output. Dollar output. Both functions, both things you can do here. Okay. So this is about the calling the function. Then next one, the parameters. So here there is no type of parameters required. You can give any type of parameters as it is a dynamically typed programming. Okay, so parameters can be of any type. So here you can see in the example function get next time dollar show seconds. Okay, so you don't want the complete time, hours and minutes, only you want seconds. So you are passing one parameter. If dollar show seconds is equal to true, that is true, from that return date of HIS else. Now the seconds are true, means there is a value. Why? Because if seconds are 0, so 0 is false, so you cannot show it. That's why other than 0, anything you can show here. Okay, so that is what return date of HIS is missing, means that is 0 seconds is missing it. Is it okay? So this is what the simple example. Now for example, if you want to write function for adding the two numbers, so function add function $a comma $b, and then perform here return a plus b. That's it. That is also an example. Means here the parameters type cannot be given. Okay, just specify the parameters whatever it is. If they are compatible, you can go on performing the operation. Otherwise, you cannot perform. For example, if you given $a is equal to 10 and $b is equal to 20.20. So the addition is not possible in the C programming, but here in the PHP it is possible. So the result will be return a plus b will return you 30.20. That is 10 plus 20.20, that will give you 30.20. Okay, so this is what this all is possible here in the PHP. But strings cannot be added. The values and strings cannot be added. That is one case. Okay. Wherever the possibility is there, it will go on performing the operation. So that is the thing we have defined here. In passing default values, that is get next time you are passing $show seconds equal to 1. Means you are assigning the values there during the this one in the parameters. Okay, and according to that we are going to check the values. That is what the default values. So again there is a class, means constructor will be there, default is there, copy constructor. Okay, so parameter constructor everything will be given there, and same as your object oriented programming. Same example, there is no change here. Then again there is a two types, passing reference, pass by value and pass by reference. So pass by value is default only, pass by values. Pass by reference means you are passing the values with its addresses. Okay. Now how you are going to define the addresses? So your function change parameter $arg. So this arg is what? It has some value, and this value is going to be modified. Now value is modified means what? The value stored at that particular address is going to be modified. Okay. So if you print here 300 and you are assigning with it the 15 initial, that is echo initial is this initial, change parameter, that is you are passing this particular value, and then you are changing the parameter. So there is a pass by value will not work, because the value stored at this particular location, that is $arg, you are directly calling to that particular memory location instead of values. For example, in one of the floor, you just give its address, that is say block number 7, floor number 3. The values can be changed. For example, in the morning session there can be a engineering students. In the afternoon there can be just diploma students. The value can be changed, but address will remain same. Okay, so I'm getting what address exactly that is. So the values or the parameters will be changing. It is passed by reference. So pass by value will not come into the picture in many cases. So pass by reference will be the default. Okay, one more example is given here. Pass by value, pass by reference as ampersand as you are using say C programming address operator you are going to use it. Okay, so anything else? The working of that initial and change parameter is shown here. Then variable scope within function it is also same as your JavaScript. So wherever it has a global scope for the variables, means wherever when it comes to one of the inner function and outer function, so the value will not change. It will remain same as we have seen in the JavaScript. Okay. So here we have first dollar count value is 56 initialized. So inside this also it is 56 and outside also it is 56. So this it has a global scope. And this is I think this is all about the module number 3. Okay. So is it clear guys? Any doubts? Any doubts guys?